But the 9 legs were quite clear. The end was nigh. There weren't enough blessed to hold back the tide. The magic that used to defend faded. It seemed as if all were lost until the discovery of her, the orphan of the night, spoken of in prophecy. She alone could stem the rising tide, and for a time she did. Side by side with the king, she reinforced the wards protecting them. The threat of the mist was vanquished. The image of a man holding a sword aloft on the edge of a cliff could use some fleshing out. The wise and benevolent king gave a poor orphan his protection and love. But did she appreciate it? The ink pooled before the next word. No. Rather than accept her fate as queen, she fled after trying to assassinate her king, escaped to a place that no one had ever returned from, the deadly abyss. Part 1. Abyss. People feared the abyss with good reason, and not just because of the monsters. Many believed it to be bottomless. Others claimed it was actually a place of nothingness. Those who'd been would have surely refuted those claims, if any had survived the journey. Prologue. As Zanir plunged from the back of the draeger in a foolish attempt to be heroic, he had time to wonder why. What am I doing? No time for an answer, because his plummet through the mist led him straight for Gideon, his nemesis for too long, riding the back of a beast putrid with decay. The fate of those infected by the mist. Zanir slammed into the enemy, who held tightly to the bridle of rope looped around his mount's neck. Meddling bastard! Gideon hissed as they grappled. Not easily, given they both had to cling tightly with their legs, lest they slide off to a certain death below. No time or room to draw his sword. Zanir pulled his dagger, only to have Gideon slam his wrist, jolting it with magic. It zinged unpleasantly, even as the diamist stone within absorbed it. "This doesn't have to end badly," he grunted as they strained against each other, equally matched when it came to strength. "You meddle in things you don't understand," Gideon grunted, as the flying beast, no longer given direction, stopped chasing the woman flying away, hopefully to safety. "Then why don't you explain?" Zanir pushed at Gideon and slid back at the same time, gathering his feet under him so that he might balance on the monster's back in a crouch. "It's simple. The woman is mine," Gideon snarled. "I don't think she agrees." "As if she has a choice," Gideon whistled. The monster beneath them rolled, and Zanir, with nothing to hold on to, flailed for something to keep him from falling. He grabbed hold of loose skin dangling from the beast's neck. Gideon had a hand wrapped around the strap of his saddle, a feral grin on his lips. The reddish hue of his eyes showed the mist's taint rooted more deeply than was healthy, yet he was still capable of thought and speech, rare for one that ill. Gideon placed his hand on the flying creature's spine, and Zanir practically saw the electricity he thrust into it. In pain, the monster shook its head wildly, bugling as it plummeted. Zanir thrashed, and it took all his strength to hold on. He'd never be able to climb back aboard. The smirk on Gideon's face said that he knew it as well. Zanir had little time, and only one dagger. Moving quickly, he let go with one hand, drew his blade, and, as the spinning of the monster swung him, used the momentum to slice across the creature's neck. He didn't see the result as he fell, but he heard Gideon's howl of rage. Then, nothing. Nothing but the whistle of wind as he plunged, not as far as feared. The tree boughs he hit provided some cushion, not enough to save him from injury. Crash, bounce, snap.